level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. Level up. Level up. Go. Everything, that means everything. Eyes connected to everything. And that's why. I'm in everything. All eyes on me. All eyes on everything. That means everything. Eyes connected to everything.
Oh. Yeah, we heard you.
And that's why.
That part. This
good.
is things that people don't want to talk about. Brought to you by God Level. That will be me. I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a mother. I'm a nurse. I'm an entrepreneur. I have this podcast. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I'm an aunt. And I also just added something else. I'm a writer. We'll get into that later. We will get into that later. With that being, I am everything good.
Yes, you are.
Ivy, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Sure, I can. What's going on, good people? I'm your girl, Inattentive Ivy. You can find me on all social media platforms. Hailing originally from Ohio, but living in the beautiful PNW. I'm sister friend, former military broadcast journalist. I'm always talking about mental health, talking about these ADHD hamsters, because these hamsters be on my nerves, y'all. Just say it. But the thing is that I've gone through my own journey, and I like to talk about advocating for mental health awareness in communities of color. And I'm sharing my journey so we can all keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. Master Skywalker.
Yeah. John Skywalker, the Sly Talker here. I'm a lyricist, spoken word artist, martial artist, personal trainer, lover of life, student of psychology, and I'm a husband who has 5.
That's me. I'm so sorry.
Okay. I have 5 hip-hop albums, 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, streaming on all major DSPs. Now, look up John Skywalker, then look up John Skywalker, hit play. Salute.
Please. I had to take a trip. We'll get into that in just a second. Sherman, go ahead and represent yourself.
My name is Sherman Vaughn. I never really got too much to say, but with this topic being what it is, I just want to let you know I see you. I can hear you if you speak, and it's somebody that loves you even if you haven't met them yet. That's all.
What you Casanova motherfucker? You. I could be sitting back like that. Damn, I could just imagine the conversations with you and your missus. She just be over there like, oh my God.
He's so sweet and sensitive.
I just love him. This is my husband.
Wow.
I'm just saying, I be like, honey, I be at a loss for words sometimes, like, brother. Brother. Like, that's brother Sherman.
Yeah. I just speak what I feel.
Yeah. You know how hard it is to get a man to do that shit?
Take a while.
That turns a woman on. He speaks how he feels. I mean, it's real. Okay.
He's wild. Oh, he knows something. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm gonna go back on mute.
I'm sorry, I had to fuck with you, but you do that shit all the time, though. But anyway, tonight's podcast is we're celebrating Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Last week we had some technical difficulties. We truly apologize about that. But this is the last week of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and we are going with why aren't more men going to therapy? That is tonight's question. And we're just going to let it flow. I want to say, I'm not putting you fellas on the spot, But John answered the question in the group chat, because when I throw out a topic, John is going to ask me questions. Why are we talking about this? What do we want the people to walk away? What solutions are we going to be able to give to these people? We're not just going to talk about a problem without following up with a solution. I respect that shit. I respect that shit. Do you hear me? That's my brother. Brother from another mother. I respect that shit. All right. So, and not just throwing it out there, but you made it a point to say men take the least resistant route. And we ain't gonna say all men. We're gonna say some men. Some men are. I can't speak for all of them. I'm a woman. I can only speak to my experience as a woman going to therapy. I don't know if it's the same for some men. You know, you're nervous, you're scared, you don't know what's going to happen. It's new. You tell yourself nothing is wrong, yet you still have certain behaviors that other people are seeing. So yeah, what nearly 60% of men believe society sees therapy as a sign of weakness.
As of 2002, right? These are sources now. All right, we wanted to put some stats on here just
That's
to
what's
paint a
up.
picture, right? Just to paint a picture. 80% of suicides in the U.S. men.
Men. Yeah, I seen that. And I'm just like, and that number is steady climbing. It's steady going up. Wow. The less than half seek help. Yeah. I'm gonna try to say this as compassionate as I possibly can. I'm coming from a background of trauma. It's not easy. It is definitely not easy, yet it is worth it in the end. To be able to go and sit down and talk to someone, get rid of that fear and unload and unburden yourself. I'm always telling women, unburden yourself. Men, unburden yourself. Talk about that childhood trauma. Talk about what you experienced, whether it was emotional abuse, mental abuse, even sexual abuse, and I commend those men who come out about that, because that really messes a child up, period, whether it's male or female. That is a moment that changes a person's life forever. And sometimes it takes a while to come up out of that if you recognize that, hey, I'm moving as that same hurt little girl or hurt little boy, So yeah. Do we have any questions, or are we just going with just this question? Oh, when you hear men's mental health, what's the first thing that comes to mind, good, bad, or complicated? Afraid. Afraid. Some men are afraid to look in the mirror and see themselves. When you said the least resistant route, I got a picture of a man who would rather just move from person to person than looking in the mirror and figuring out who he is. That's what I got from that. No, that's the least resistant route. Don't work on yourself. Just go to the next person who don't know you. That's am I got two men on here. Y'all not gonna speak on this?
We're just giving you the space to speak, giving you the space to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's the least resistant route. There it is again. There it is.
I can use that as an example. I can use that as a great example, because I'm the perfect person. I'm the perfect example of trying to take the least, resistant route. But the reason I do, because I'm one of the guys that, just one of them, I'm able to look at myself. I'm okay with
Okay.
what's in the mirror. But
Okay.
what I don't like is something that resembles me. I go more toward solution talking as opposed to problem speaking. That's
Mm.
just that's where I always am. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm not good at speaking problems, so I can never really help you there. But if you're looking for a solution, or we can put our heads together, we got supercomputers in our hand, and we have the imagination. So there's nothing that you can't come up with. It's nothing that you can't find out, but you have to want to. You can change every part, every facet of your life if you just think you can, because that's where it starts. And it's not about milestones and leaps and bounds, because that shit starts with baby steps. So start that first, but be willing to start. Just go forward.
A change of mind. That's it. A
That's
thought.
all. That's all.
That's it.
It's just a thought, because if you say you can, even if you don't think you can, it's like forcing yourself to smile, because your brain will react a different way.
Yeah.
Just keep that in every facet. That's why I never thought I'd lose. So yeah, I take the least resistant, but have a reason.
Oh.
Ivy?
I am, when I hear men's mental health, okay, so I don't want to take anything away from the guys, because of the fact that the way that I relate is to talk about my own experiences, and to be completely and totally honest, this is a men's, this is like our men, they have personal experience with this. So I'm going to pull a King Newborn and I'm going to listen for the first couple.
Oh,
all right,
Listen, which
fair
I
enough.
know is not like me, because I normally have a lot of opinions.
Yeah,
But this time I'm going to listen.
All right. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit it real fast, and then we'll keep it moving.
okay.
It's complicated to me. We got societal expectations, we got stigma around vulnerability, and we got varied access to support. Issues like anxiety and depression, suicide risk. It's not like the forefront of the conversations, and so it leaves you with the options to tough it out. And with those challenges, the problems compile. They compound. So yeah, when I think but there's optimism here also when I think about men's mental health, because what I see on my feed since 2015, about 2015, I've been seeing the shift, and it's not loud, and I like that. It's not loud, because it gives men the time to really brew, to really be nurtured, to really incubate. You need time to let that shit cook, that healing, right? And so watching it, and it's like, okay, I know it's out here, and through my art, I put it out there. It ain't, it ain't trendy right now, but it's trendy. It ain't trendy right now, but it's trendy. Like, there are people that are plugged into it. We speaking on it, but it ain't the most sexy thing.
Right.
Crazy. Healing ain't sexy. Wow. But it's complicated. You see the mixture of sickness. You see the healing, at least when you're me, and then saying, hey, I'm gonna jump on this wave. Like, this is where it's at. This will always be trendy. I see the other option. Y'all can be there if you want to. I respect it. It's your decision. But let's be clear about this also. You can't come here unless you heal up. You can't come here. So whatever you got going on over there, I don't live by those standards. Me and my brethren don't live by those standards. The guys that I know, there plenty of guys in my circle. In fact, I'll even say this. I know more guys that actually go to therapy than I don't. And it's a regular thing. Now, I do have some friends in my circle that don't go to therapy, but it's not like I'm going to be just, Charlemagne the God pushing that shit out. It's just going to come up casually. hey, bro, you ever thought about therapy? Like, you got this. You know why I'm asking? There's a certain way you got to present it. Because, I mean, you know, the stigma's out there, right? So you can't just shove that shit in his face. He gonna overreact.
Ooh.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, he gonna
Mm.
spaz out. Like, yo, you just broke through the defense. You didn't even try to ease that in here. You just forced. So yeah, there. You know, delivery is key. Delivery is key. He will take it. He will take it. You ain't gotta like soften it up. You just gotta present it in a way where it's like, oh yeah, that shit makes sense. That's it. Oh yeah, that shit makes sense. All right. And that's part of the problem is it hasn't been presented in a way where it makes sense. You know? So if men are not resting, how can they prioritize rest in a busy world?
Can I answer this because this is a gender neutral question? Or I feel like it's gender neutral, or maybe I'll shut up, I'll be quiet. Look, I'm like, I can be quiet. I get it.
This is men's mental health awareness.
Oh
Okay.
man. I mean, if you observe, so if you observed any of this phenomenon, the feedback, you're all right. You remember Renee when we had Christine on? She had an experience as it related to a black man. Okay?
Yes.
And her perspective is valuable because she's witnessing. So if you're witnessing, that perspective is valuable. If you're witnessing, and it's valuable because it's saying, hey, this is what it looks.
Oh, he froze.
Oh no.
Hold on.
Okay.
Am I good? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're a woman and you can empathize with Christine's perspective of how she perceived it and how she approached it. So you're like, oh, that okay, because I empathize. I align more with her. I align more with her. So okay, I could see myself doing this. You have an example. You know, she's not telling you opinions and feelings and such. She's telling you the experience. She's giving you the observation so that you can get in the framework and say, oh, okay, I see it too.
Okay.
So I was going to give an example from what I see of you, John, of what I see from the men that I do interact with, and from what I see from my sons. And the reason why I said it's gender neutral is because I ask my female friends the same thing. I always ask them, what do you do for yourself that brings you joy? That's not, that doesn't have to deal with taking care of somebody else, that doesn't have to deal with giving to somebody else. What do you do just for you? I feel that for you, John, that's your music. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your art. And I feel like there's a restorative thing that is in there, right? And in fact, I just went on a cruise. And when I went on that cruise, my friend's husband, he was there. And just from talking to him, we just kind of like talked about things like he doesn't, he admitted that he really doesn't prioritize like his dreams, like the things that would bring him joy, like the arts, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I explained to my sons like a long time ago, the reason why I'm so, like, I push really hard into my art nowadays is because that's where I find my rest. That's where I find my joy. And that's the reason why I was like, maybe if it is a busy world, I know for you, John, you prioritize your art. So I'm like, if men aren't resting, maybe they can find a way how to prioritize what brings them joy, something that they have just for themselves. And that's just from an observation. Okay, and now I'm going to shut up and I'm going to listen the rest of the time.
Oh, wow. If men are not resting, how can they prioritize rest in a busy world? Yes, it's not a big.
Schedule it.
Okay, there we go. That's one. Yes. Yep.
Schedule it. That's what helps me the most. Just find a time when you shut it all down. Because you need the rest. You need to be 100% who you are. Rest is even a part of your diet. I'm finding out. It can mess up other things.
You schedule your rest.
Absolutely. It's just not so much schedule. I just know there's a set time where I'm shutting everything down. I'm going to sleep. That's essentially it. And make it a healthy time. Don't make it 1 a.m. Come on now. You got to be up at 7.
I feel judged.
We got to think. But no, this is for men. especially if you're doing strenuous jobs, using your body, driving, doing anything, physical labor. Rest is good because you can hurt somebody else. Think about the next person. And crazy enough, thinking about the next person is resting, which is thinking about you. Take it a day at a time. You'll get there. And hopefully we'll wake up.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Okay. Scheduling. I have to. Oh, I'm busy until I go to sleep. I'm busy until I drop off. I'm so serious. I be on my phone, and my daughter has to remind me, "Mom, close your phone." I wake up sometime. My phone be on 2-3% because it's still on whatever page. I know. I have to literally drop off. Like today after the show, because I've been up since 3:30, and I still got to work late. Don't ask me why. We'll talk about that later. But I'm probably going. I look forward to having one of those long, hard days because I know I'm going to go to sleep easy. That is crazy. Wow.
All right. The first thing I'm going to recommend is as a personal trainer, because this is men don't understand that rest is really just a aspect of fitness. All right. So this is going to be reframing, cognitive reframing. All right. When you're working out, I don't care who the fuck you are or how strong you can lift. At some point, you got to stop moving. At some point, you got to stop lifting. Don't you? That period after you stop contracting, exerting force is called rest. You need to deliberately lay in that period. That means I'm not scrolling my phone 30 minutes before bed. I'm setting boundaries. I'm not doing any supersets. I'm not stopping for a moment just to do something else. This is reframing it as, this is my recovery period so I can get it back. My rest fuels my performance. I cannot work without the rest. I work so that I can rest, and I rest so that I can work. So you reframe it. This is why, fellas, this is why you have reps, rest, reps, rest, reps, rest.
Yep.
And you're going to rest according to how much work you perform. So if you out there lifting heavy, right? We all know 2 to 3 minutes. So how do you do that in your life? Like the bigger block. What's the bigger block? You went to work at 9. When are you going to take a break? And I know we're in America. But in other countries, and this is just an American thing, this whole busy world thing. This is a very American thing. In these other countries, if you go to Spain, 9 is when everything gets, and even when at 9, they still moving slow. Like they are gonna take their time. Like it's gonna get done. Just chill the fuck out. It's gonna get done. It's an attitude. It's an attitude of it will get done. You're gonna have to be patient. Just like it's gonna get done. I'm gonna move intentionally, deliberately, carefully because my performance and my quality matter to me. So my rest and my recovery becomes a priority because I cannot perform at this high level without it. You have to reframe it. Okay. Set boundaries, brothers. Set boundaries around your rest. So that includes not taking on more tasks, knowing how to say no. Hey, this is not pertinent. This is not, I don't really need to do this right now. I don't really need to. I need to do these things, but I don't really need to do this. So I'm going to say no. And what am I going to do? What you going to do? You got the time to do it? Yeah, I do. I do have the time to do it. You're right. I'm going to rest. Go ahead, Ivy.
I have a question for you about that. Because I heard you say it's like they've got to reframe. So now I don't know because I'm not a black man. How do you get black men to reframe the idea of getting rest, being a part of self-care, because if you think about it, now, once again, I'm from the outside looking in, but a lot of men that I know, they are so focused on, I got to take care of the house. I got to take care of the house financially. I have to be able to bring this in. I have to put this on. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that would create. I feel like, just looking from the outside in, like this would create a kind of cognitive dissonance within the black man who's thinking to himself, how can I rest? I got to make sure that I capture the bag. I got to make sure that I'm doing
Me
all of this
first off,
within this point in time.
meet him where he's at first. Meet him where he's at. Hey,
Okay.
what I want to start with, brother. What is your concept, your understanding of rest, just from your worldview? We're gonna work from there, and then I'm going to identify where it's dysfunctional. That's all I'm gonna do, and we're gonna sit with that. And for a lot of men, we love efficiency. Oh, efficiency, just
Man.
the word, you know. And so if you tell me something ain't working for me, my feelings gonna be hurt. But I'm gonna look at that thing like, but shit, I want this shit to work, dog. A man likes his shit to work. Like, I mean, hey, life gets in the way. I mean, you see that one dude that's got 16 cars outside, but what you don't see is the 19 that he finished. You don't see that, but you see 16 outside, right? Again, you gotta start with where they're at, and then just say, all right, this is where your deficiencies are. In your concept of rest, this is where you're weak at. Here's how you can just do these things right here. I'm not giving you the whole thing. Just do these things right here, and you tell me it don't work. I want you to prove me wrong. You do that, you know, because you're challenging the brother to do something, and he's motivated to prove you wrong.
Okay.
And then he finds out that it works, and then it's like, well, shit, nigga, it worked. And it's like, well, shit, you know, we ain't really lose nothing, did we?
Okay, so is that like selling the same idea of like efficiency in like things that work but cannot be seen? For instance, right? I think about rest again. Now, I was talking to my son, like almost like the same thing that I mentioned before. Find something that brings you joy. That's more of a spiritual kind of emotional aspect. But the thing is that I have realized that when you feed your joy, the abundance automatically comes in. You know what I'm saying? And that's untangible. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like that's not. There's nothing that is tangible about that. Oh, Sanjata. We need to change the idea of what it means to a man. Every time we think about what is man, the answer usually is what we do, not who we are. Woo! Once we reframe that concept, we can adjust. Come on, Mahez. Yeah. That's my brother, Mahez. That's my brother right there. Yeah. Come on, bruh. So that's the reason why I was like, I'm being curious. I'm really trying to understand it. Because once again, like I said, I have young men, right? I have young men that are, those are my oldest sons, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to understand, because even though they're adults, I still want to be a help as a mom. And y'all know my history, you know what I'm saying? Like how, and I'm trying to be curious about my own perspective and change it. So that's what I'm asking. Like when you're thinking about things of that sort. Okay, I'll shut up since I asked.
The idea is already there, okay? Like the idea of rest is already there. Some of are well practiced in it, right? But it's also not, it's just not something that's very championed in the culture, right? So you got to make it a part of the culture somehow. And so it's a subcultural thing. And so, I mean, again, this isn't a brand new concept. We're just trying to remind. It's not new. We're trying to remind the brothers, hey, don't forget to rest and all this shit right here. I know it's gotten busier. And all this shit, are you resting? Make sure you rest. Because, you know, once upon a time, you were resting. Once upon a time. It's a reminder.
I'm sorry, my brain is still on the not what we do, but who we are. God,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah,
that's deep.
That's huge. Thank you, 22. I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Shout out. The dark truth. Just truth. Yeah, if you see Sanjata, then you just, truth. Because, that brother right there, man. Yeah. Sorry.
And just the bar out there also for the, you know, higher minded one. God rested on what day?
The 7th.
There you go.
So whether you align, you know, whether you identify that line right there, I mean, you identify. So, I mean, even God had to rest. Like, dang, you know, it wasn't, I mean, it was a lot of work, but it wasn't a lot of work. But even God was like, all right, cool. After all this movement, I'm gonna chill for a minute. Let me just chill. Thanos, nigga, like Thanos. Come on. Like everybody saw that scene, was like, that's my shit right there. This nigga just half, and then just went. And every guy that saw that was like, yeah. Like, that's fucked up, but yeah. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Ate a sandwich.
Look, I'm telling you, it was magical because I mean, he's a villain, but he was just looking off into it's just this beautiful sky. It's peaceful and quiet. It was peaceful and quiet. You can hear the quiet on the other side of the street. It was just like, damn. It was so noisy and just went. You couldn't hear. Just, oh my god. Thanos had it going, man. They killed his ass, but still, that was worth the piece. That was worth the piece before dying. All right, that man was living in peace before he died. So that's what I'm saying. You can. There are fellas out there that found that, right? But there's a lot that haven't, especially this younger generation. Like, they're growing up in a culture where they're not even gonna know what that is.
I gotta go watch that whole movie all over again.
Watch for the
yeah.
Because that's what sold it.
But yo, what are some misconceptions that men have about therapy? I think this one's important because we want to identify the things that are cognitively blocking us from moving towards that direction.
I'm putting on mute and I'm putting up my hamster because I have no idea.
Yeah, I can't listen to it.
Well, I would think the misconceptions are financial. You would think you would be afraid. You don't want to be judged. Just like you said, we love efficiency, so we want our idea of thinking to work. And if it's being challenged, you feel like your soul's being challenged. Because efficiency is kind of like is a man's art. You don't want your soul judged just because, and you just met this MF. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get derogatory, but who is he? You get defensive. It's a lot of things that you get. But to be honest, all of that is just exactly what we said it is. It's a misconception. Find somebody that you agree with. Find somebody that you can talk to. And please talk. You got to hear it outside of your own head. You got to make it make sense on the table. Because if you don't, you can crush it. Don't let it do that. Because we need you here. Whether you know who needs you or not, whether you know who sees you or not, we need you.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
Okay. I always suggest that people go see their own people. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I had a white therapist, male, and he broke through my wall. But in the beginning, I would have preferred someone who understood the Black experience. You know, especially growing up in the hood in survival mode. I would have loved to have had that. Yeah. So go see your people. We're out there. They are out there. Yeah. So that'll be us. That's it. I don't want to say that. Go ahead, Ivy.
No, I just. I'm gonna ask the panel. I just saw a comment from Mr. Debonair. I see you here every week. Thank you very much. And fellas, let me know if I'm off base or not. I wanted to challenge. I just wanted to challenge what you put up. And it's not that I don't agree. I just wanted to challenge what you. Can I bring that back up? Am I wrong? First of all.
Oh, okay.
Fellas?
Which one?
No.
And am I allowed to challenge?
Go ahead.
Okay. The only reason why I wanted to challenge this, and I hear you, Mr. Debonair, definitely. Only reason why I wanted to challenge this is because for me, myself, I'm going to, once again, relate, okay? A misconception is that therapy will resolve the problem or heal the pain. Some things only God can heal. I do believe. However, how can you face anything or how can you heal anything if you're unaware of it? That's what therapy can help do. There are some things, sometimes there are things that are hidden that we are unaware that are happening. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to speak from my from my position, I was not necessarily able to make the insightful connections that I needed to make before I started therapy. So if you get somebody who understands your experience or just can just see the patterns, sometimes therapy can help you be aware of these things that are painful for you. And if you're aware of them, then you can move accordingly from there. I just wanted to challenge that. Don't have to believe it or not, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes we are unaware of the things or the ways that we show up, and therapy can help be like, let's take a look at X, Y, and Z. Are you aware that blah, 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 blah? And you be like, no, that ain't me. But then you think about it a little bit, and you be like, oh, shit.
That is me.
You know what I mean?
All right. So valid point, right? It's a valid counterpoint, but his point is also still valid. And here's why.
Oh, yeah.
Therapy does not always lead to success. Therapy is not always successful. And here's why. It's a lot of factors, right? Sometimes there's not an individual fit. I've had two therapists, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've had 4 therapists, right? Mr. Jordan, who I'm with right now, it took those 3 for me to get to him, right? But if I would have stopped at the 1 or the 2, it just would have been, therapy ain't for me because I didn't find my fit. But then there's also client engagement because, you got to have that openness and that honesty. You got to have that connection. And if it's not there, you're not going to get to no healing. All right. The complexity of the issue. We assume that therapists can solve and heal everything. It's a practice. Okay. So confidence is gonna fluctuate, right? And then there's things like, okay, there's finances because you might be able to afford only 8 sessions, right? And that 8 sessions made a difference, but then you went to what is it called, recidivism, right? And then there's therapist quality, right? There's like I said, the therapist qualifications, their experience, their expertise. Where did they go to school? If they're continuing their education, are they really using best practices? Those are the qualities of the therapist. Are they really empathetic? And then you think about the dynamics between men and women, right? If you ask a man, hey, would you mind being with a woman therapist? He's probably going to say no in terms of competence, but say yes in terms of, if something happens, because men are assholes.
No.
But
people are
assholes. But both sides, what you're saying is valid. Therapy does work, it just doesn't work all the time. And so it's okay to accept the reality that, hey, it may not work. And so there is a misconception. That is one of the misconceptions that men have, is that it won't work. And that's why they shy away from it. It's not going to work. It's not going to work for me. The therapist is not going to understand me. I'm not going to really open up. I don't feel like I can really trust. They have these misconceptions based off of what they've heard from other men. And then you add in social media and they put out these falsehoods about how therapy is. And then that scares off a few men. And that, starts to propagate. So these ideas about therapy that men have are a lot of the times rooted in ignorance, but sometimes are very valid. They're sometimes very valid. So,
just to piggyback, I can't say what me and King Newborn talk about. I can't really. I don't like to disclose, but just like John said a minute ago, you are aligned. Whatever whatever you believe in, it's fine. But you got to find the right person. You got to go in with the mentality that you want to resolve the problem and heal it, and then you'll get there. Because what you're doing is telling your story inside your head that's jumbled. You're looking for a roadmap. So you're going to Ohio, but shit, it's cut off right here. What you do is present that. You get it out of your mind, and then you have somebody else pretty much re-guide the way. This is your roadmap. So now we know the problem, because the problem was so jumbled up. You just kept going over it and creating other problem questions branched off of that one problem, and it compounds. So you put it on the table, you get your roadmap, and you have somebody else help you get there. It's just completing the rest of the trip. But you got to find your right person. It has to be a right fit.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
All I want to
There's something wrong with shopping around you.
Nothing wrong with shopping around. This is your mental
Nothing
health
wrong
we're
with
talking
shopping
about.
around, but it can be challenging to shop around.
It can
Yeah.
be.
It can be very challenging to shop around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Especially when you're in that
Wrong.
place where you need the help and you're like, man, I'm not shopping for this shit. I was like, I'm not doing that. I think that's a human being thing. I mean, like, correct me
Yo.
if I'm wrong. I don't think it's just singular to men. So just saying.
Your will to be better is gonna have to be through the roof.
Facts.
Your will to be better, and
Mhm.
once you make that decision, the universe is just gonna push you right in the right direction. Oh, you want that? Okay, come on, let's go.
That's why I say you gotta meet them. And again, I know we can do the gender neutral thing, but we're really trying to customize because you guys saw the picture I painted. You guys saw the picture, the stats in the beginning, right?
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
got to meet these guys where they are
Yeah.
instead of saying just get up here, because we're perpetuating the same oppression by doing that. Go down there. All right, let's go, boy. Let's go. Come on. You want to go? You want to stay? You want to stay here? You want to go? What you want to do? Right? But meet them there first. Meet them there first.
Yeah.
If you really care, only if you really care. If you don't care, then don't care. But don't like halfway care. Like commit to one. Right? If you care, meet him where he's at. See what he wants to do. What's your motivation, bro? Oh, you trying to go up? All right. You need a map. Yeah, you need a cane. Are you like? Come on, give me some feedback so I can know what to do. Coach me.
Right.
I'm here. Right. So meet them where they're at. I want to highlight this real quick. Men under 30 are 2 times more likely to seek therapy than men over 50. I think that is worth highlighting because of that generational gap. What is it really saying, right? Even though these young ones that are coming up are kind of looking at the future a little bit more desolate than we, it's still a sign that, they're recognizing that, hey, they have these tools here. And the culture is shifting for them.
For them, the older culture is on their way to me.
Mm-hmm. That is so heartbreaking. I'm serious.
They're on their they have lived their life a certain way at 50. What could they possibly want to change? They've been doing this for 50 years. It's worked for them. It may not have been efficient because they're bouncing around. But yeah, they're literally on their way to me. And that's one of the problems that we see in nursing facilities. You get tired of seeing that. But that's the older generation. So for you to put up that stat, I'm happy to see that the younger generation is getting that help. I really am.
Got a question, guys. John, I don't want to out your age.
Most people don't know anyway, so.
I know, because you look young, so I'm just saying. And then we already know Sherman young, you know what I'm saying? We know, but I wanted to ask the question, like, is there, for a black man to the older generation of black men, is there a way to reach the older generation, or are we kind of just like take the ones who are willing, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of
very good question. Damn.
Yeah, I think that's individual. You gotta want to do it. If they don't want to,
take the ones who's willing.
That's it. That's the path of least resistance.
Man, you can't spend too much time on somebody that's 51, 2, 3, 4, 5 that didn't live. They like If they ain't trying to see, they don't want to see. We need more black men.
Hey, shout out to the truth, because he just got his art therapy certification. I just wanted to, yes, literally got his license for everything else, but just yo, congratulations, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
They can be reached, right? Certain ones can, but you know, again, there's a respect here, right?
Okay.
I'm connected to some OGs, right? And there is, with black men, it's that I see you. It's that, well, I see you, right? I'm gonna do the same. And I do it now. I do it now. When I see like that, man, like young fathers, young black fathers, if I fuck with you, and you know they out there, bro, I'm so fucking proud of you, man. You know,
Yes.
I big up them in the beginning, right? Cause I'm like, I see you, dog. I see what you're doing. You also highlight. You know, you gotta big up them. You got to, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. It's there. It's there. So what I'm saying is the elders have that responsibility. It's a shared responsibility. The OGs, when they see me, they pay their respects just like I pay mine. All right. So we investing in each other when we doing that. So if they don't want to, hey man, I respect it. You ain't in that space of doing that. Okay. Okay, OG, you got it. And it's not a drama. It's just like, yo, I respect your destiny. You know, but hey, I'm still here because you know sometimes they change their mind. Sometimes they change their mind. Like, oh man, I didn't even. Yeah, I know, OG. Come on. We got some work to do. Get your ass up. Let's go.
Exactly. Because I ain't in the business of convincing. Not if you don't want to come.
Okay.
So that's another disconnect between the generations. Is, you know, and we all got to go through it. That's the craziest part. We all know we got to go through it. We all got to be the old head at some point.
Facts.
You gotta start looking back. Like if you in your 30s, bros, you need to be looking into that 20.
Yes.
You need to be looking back, bro. You know, but for a lot of men, you figure it out. For a lot of men, it's not something we speak about now. Okay, it's practice. It's not a thing you talk about. We do it, and then it's all right. We know now. So it's just a reminder, yo, OGs. Your wellspring, your fountain of youth is right behind you. So when you see him, you're like, hey, I see you, young. All right, hey, I mean, you want to get some of this energy? You know, I got an abundance here. You know, if you humble, you know, I don't mind breaking bread. It be like that, you know, in just so many ways. We have our way of doing that. You know, so it's the communication part, and this is why for a lot of black men, it's like, man, look, you gotta talk to me nice. You gotta talk to me a certain way. It's a language barrier sometimes, and it's westernized therapy. So they have, you know, it's a certain framework, a certain structure. You got to adapt it to the minority cultures. You got to adapt it to the intersections. You got to adapt these frameworks. A lot of times therapists ain't trying to do that. You know, they try to stay in their comfort zone. They trying to stay with what they know. Okay, I can't fault you for that, but damn, you over here, you could do a little bit of good over here. You know, you could even be a little pioneer. You know, get a. So yeah, therapy itself can be part of the problem because of this, you know, how it's designed. You know, when you think about who were the founders and who were the pioneers of certain therapeutic perspectives, white men, not all of them from America. Not even all of them from America. And so you think about their sample groups. Who are they studying? And they come up with these frameworks, and they work so well, but they only work well with the people that they got the data from. And so here you are trying to copy and paste that shit onto me. And I function differently. I talk differently. I move differently. I walk differently than you. You don't think that has an effect on, you know, those type of things come into play.
Yeah.
So if I was mentally, I would be talking to a dark truth. I would be talking to him because I would trust him. I was like, all right, you look like me, you talk like me. Nas is your top. Okay, All right, we could talk.
Mhm.
So this is what's going on with me. Connection, trust, like that's what the rapport is about. You trying to build that connection. Every therapist can't do that.
You talking about you interviewing them before they can even sit down with you.
Hell yeah. Yes, you
Mhm.
interview your therapist.
There you go.
Because where John has had 4,
4.
bruh.
Okay.
And it's no attack on them. Again, they're
Yeah,
just
no.
doing what they were trained to do, and they are
Right.
expecting to serve certain populations. It's not that they don't want to at all. Like, but the field, 75% white women therapists,
Mhm.
75%. Okay, and you got me. All right, and I mean, talking to my homeboy is different than talking to a white woman, and then she's talking proper, and so the racism starts to better speak proper English, don't want to be judged, prejudice, all this stuff starts to come in. And even though she might say, hey, I just want you to be your authentic self, because you know
The
the
white
unconscious.
gaze.
She don't have that background.
The white gaze.
Understand. Yeah.
I don't want
That's-
to give my sensitive information to somebody that doesn't even know what I'm going through. You have to be able to fit me.
Oh.
It's a defense
Yeah.
mechanism. I don't even want you to know what I'm going through.
And it's unconscious.
Yes.
Unconscious.
There you go.
It's
Ooh.
almost a defense mechanism. It is a defense mechanism.
Facts.
Because if I don't walk in there and he don't look like John, ain't nothing I can do.
Or he doesn't at least have that core. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta have the core.
Because I'll talk to a black man, but can you understand? You know what I'm saying? Can you at least get some of that connected thread? I feel like I can be myself with you. Yeah, that is facts, man.
So interview your people.
Oh yeah,
You know,
gotta
have a couple questions that they can answer that, you know, they can a check off list. Okay, yeah, I can talk to you. I can sit down and talk to you.
Yep. Literally,
You know.
the last 6 years, I started to interview my therapist because I've had more than 4.
Yeah.
Because I've moved. I'm just saying. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, you should do it all of your relationships, though.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Do men even have spaces to talk about this stuff without therapy?
with themselves.
I think with each other. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
you guys do.
I do.
Yeah. You just said
Yeah, I do.
you
I
just
got my
said
people.
you and brother. Yeah, and y'all do too. All 3 of y'all.
Yeah, we all do. So yeah, I can really lean.
That is beautiful.
Most of the men that I know have somebody that they can go to, which is a blessing, which is a good thing. Sometimes we use the bar for that, stuff like that.
Okay.
But if you try to do it open publicly, no, I don't think. Just to be honest, I don't think nobody has a safe space to say what they feel without attacking opinions. But in the comfort of your own spaces, you look for somebody that you can latch on to, and if you don't, that's when I think therapy usually comes in, because I'm in good hands. I can say that, but that's not everybody.
I gotta ask a question. So, because I know that there's you guys, or maybe I feel this way. I feel like you guys are the exception and not the rule. And correct me if I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Oh, a man has to build his own tribe, not follow the crowd nor the world. That's how we navigate, or get swept up by the transgender way. So I have a question. Like what are the young men or what are the black men doing when they don't have that like that impartial tribe? I mean,
Outlash.
Oh, they're isolating first. You know, they're actually isolating. Yeah.
Would you say they're very aggressive? Because they're holding a lot of shit in.
It's two versions.
Okay.
One can isolate and self-medicate. The other one can outlash. lash out. I'm sorry, and
Oh.
you know, be violent. So it's those two. But yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Because I was just thinking like some of my relatives who's just not really yeah, I mean, I guess they asked their homeboys for advice, but I'm just like, I have always wondered, like, did they have safe spaces, you know, to talk about those innermost things, you know,
Yeah.
or
yeah.
feel like they were like they had, or at least feel like they had some place that was safe, you know. I mean, so, and me and John, we kind of alluded to this, like the men who are my relatives, they'll have a woman, but the like, you know what I'm saying? It's like there's this block that they can't necessarily always talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, I mean, I'm gonna keep it a bug. Sometimes, ladies, we can't necessarily relate because we have our own things. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm like, what do you do when you? Yeah.
And you know, I want to add to that. He's a lot more understanding of that than you guys will ever know. He's really understanding of that. It's just more of a I have to wait. Like if you just don't add anything to it, don't add anything more, it would actually be like, all right, well, you know, I could just find another outlet type of ordeal. But it's when, dang, not only are you're blind to it, but then you're adding more to it. Like I don't. Oh, this is getting overwhelming. Like you're doing too much, and I can't tell you that you're doing too much. I just don't even want to be around you now.
Yeah. Or it can get turned, or it can get weaponized,
Oh my gosh.
and that's happened to the
Oh.
majority. So, because just I find myself talking about my
Oh.
experiences, but talking to the majority, I don't think most men have a safe space now. I don't, especially by the numbers. We can see by the numbers of everything that we
Yeah.
said today. I don't
Okay,
think most have that.
Can you when you say being weaponized, give me an example.
Oh, you tell something that's deep, something that's near to you, something that's dear to you, something that you ain't quite figured out, and you come to your spouse or your lady, and I mean, you want to confide in them. You just want to tell them, you want to get it out because you feel like you can trust that person. And then in an argument, it'll be turned around and pointed at you like a gun, say that this is the reason that you're not good enough.
It's hurtful.
And it happens time after time after time. So when you get to 50, and nothing you can be told because you shut off a part of your brain, at least that part, because that's where pain is. That's where you see it. You're like, I know not to go that way. And sad to say, even when you stop learning about that direction, because when you stop learning about anything, you die. You have to keep learning. You have to keep learning. That's when people see you and like, oh yeah, he's set in his ways. An old dog can't be taught new tricks and stuff like that. That person is mentally, or you can call it spiritually, at a standstill.
What?
It's a lot to look at, but it's easy to notice. It's easy to notice. Go ahead.
If I could add to that, I didn't understand the weaponization like really until I saw this one video. There was this man, he was an older man. He had a hat on, I think, like a Patriots hat or something. And he had this spool of wire, right? And I think you guys have seen this.
I've seen it.
He had a spool of wire, and he had that spool of wire for like 40 years or 30
that
years
meant
or something,
a lot.
Right? And the wife couldn't understand how much that meant. And she made a joke about it. And he's like, nah, you don't understand. He's like he was lamenting his life's work in this spool, but she couldn't see it. And she made a joke about it. And he's literally like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? And she didn't understand it. She didn't understand because he's like, this is how I have paid to put food on the table for my family. This is how I've nourished my family. And I didn't get it until I was able to come
Time.
So,
it was about time.
Time,
man.
And guys are like, let's be efficient, right?
But yeah, it was two elements, and I want to also clarify in this example, this video, because it's still around there. He clarified, his woman is very empathetic. He clarified that. Okay. Yeah. So, but it was about time, and that's why it hit men so hard because it's like for us, we start, as we get older and more mature, we start to recognize the real spirit of time. It starts to really take up space. And when the way he said it, and then just the right words, and it was so simple,
So
not a whole lot of words. It was just like, damn. And then she came in, and you're just like, this is women. This is women right here. This absolute profound moment. And every man felt that part. Like, you
every
fucked the
man.
whole thing up. It was
'Cause he was
that,
about to
it's
give you
that
something
deep.
deep. It was
It's deep.
yeah.
That's life. But again, it was a skit, right? But still, it's like, that's the reality. That's why it hits so hard for men, because it's like, that summarizes my life. Me, like, losing all this time, and I'm trying to fill up this space, and then I have to appeal to this woman who doesn't understand me. This is my whole life. And it's a tragedy, but it's also funny at the same time.
Yeah, it was like I want you to it does, because it doesn't so much, and this is what I'm learning. This is what I've learned this, but I'm still, trying to get better at it. It doesn't matter that I see it as important or not. If you see it as important, I gauge how much I gauge how big it is in your mind. And if I need to get up and give a standing ovation, I do. It's not about me.
Right.
It's not about me. I just want you to be able to do the same.
Yeah.
So if I'm giving you something, cherish it, nurture it, because that's what I'm gonna try to do for you in turn. And to be honest, I ain't too feelings based. I can get on here and speak my mind because I'm safe inside this tribe. But I don't speak like this. I'm the funny guy. Because going back to what Miss Ivy said, what I do for myself is I love comedy, and I love important think pieces or important think speeches. I love that. I love an impactful word that'll punch you in your soul. It's nothing better to me. When you can reach everybody and make the whole room silent, monumental. That's art verbally for me. It just blows me away. So those are the two things that I like to do for me, even though they are for other people and our audience. Those jokes are still for me. They make me feel good.
The art. The art.
Art.
Why are you doing the art? Are you doing it for the applause, or are you doing it for yourself?
Doing it for me. I love it.
Yeah. And that's, let me speak again. Women, to kind of understand what goes on the other side, have some joy that's for yourself.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Have some joy that's for yourself. Don't necessarily. A mistake that I made, I couldn't understand anything outside of me because I poured my everything into everybody. I couldn't understand anybody who was in my orbit because I was giving so much to myself. I couldn't understand myself either. Just want to point that out. So
yeah,
this is also putting this out to women who are supporting these Black men. You know what I'm saying? Get outside of yourself, understand yourself, so you can understand the men. So you can understand the men around you. You know, because you can't understand another person unless you understand you. All of it, unless you accept.
Yeah, Mr. Debonair. Yeah, it goes for you too.
Oh, okay, and I'll clean this up. All right, so a woman who is committed, she is committed to not understanding, is worth the breakup. Okay, if she's committed, because you can do it and not know that you're doing it. All right, you deserve grace for that. But if you are committed, and the commitment is in the behavior, it's in the repetition.
There it is. Thank you.
Yeah, because if I tell you this is affecting me in this way, and you say, "Oh no, it didn't," that's a telltale sign.
That right there. Come on.
I don't need to be not anymore because you're committing to not even trying to understand me. So that's fine. I won't say too many words. I'll actually quietly leave. I always quietly go because you've already chose your path. Okay, I don't need to tell you what you're doing. You're a grown person. Why do I have to tell you what you are?
Yep. Ain't gotta say shit. Don't have to say shit. And it's the best exit. That's the best exit too. Because it leaves her guessing like a mother.
There you go.
And she gonna make up whatever story she gonna make up anyway, so it don't even matter.
And you know what, John? I gotta be okay with being the villain in your story because I know I am.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta be okay.
I'll
with
be the
being
villain.
in the story.
I'll
I
be
don't
the
have
villain.
to
Yeah.
over-explain. I don't have to overcompensate. I don't have to be overwhelmed. What I'm choosing is peace. That's
Yep.
the only thing I'll ever choose. So if that's not
Yep.
what you can accommodate, or if that's not what you are committed to, you cannot be committed to me.
That's it, man. It be that.
Exit
It be that
quietly.
simple.
That's an Aquarius exit.
Yes, it is. Yes.
I don't know why. Hey, that's an Aquarius
It
exit.
is.
That's how we exit quietly.
And
We
see,
will
and people
not
think y'all are
talk.
water. Y'all are air, actually.
We're air. We're the water barriers. We
We
hold
don't,
it.
we don't even hear you go. Where the hell she?
Either that
Miss
or
Renee?
Yeah, and
Oh, no.
leave so quietly.
Uh,
You
oh,
will question whether or not I
I
actually
had
exist.
somebody ask me. I had somebody ask me about you. I said, "Oh, she in Texas." They said, "When she moved?" I said, "Oh, you wasn't one of the
G's
ones."
move in silence like lasagna. Come on, baby. G's
Ooh.
move in silence.
I was like, "Oh,
I
You
didn't look.
you must not be
I
that
didn't look to St.
important."
Louis and came back this weekend. Ain't saying shit to nobody. You know, I'm here.
No,
I'm back.
when she go to Texas? Can't tell you that, but you must not be that important. All right,
Dang.
all right.
Wait a
I'll
minute.
give it a little John. I gotta give a
He
little.
didn't tell you that. Well, you must not be that important.
You didn't know?
Mhm.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
just let them. I
Where
just let them
people
know
look,
you're doing
it's
great.
6 months into the year and people are still like, what? Huh?
Well,
Mhm.
you already knew where you stand. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
I look.
Yeah.
Those close to me knew what it was.
Mhm. Yeah, the energy is different in that place too.
Can I answer this question? Because I found, I'm sorry,
Oh,
you know,
go ahead.
can I? Because something my son, not my oldest one, but my middle son, something that was crazy that he told me, and I was like, wow, alternatives to therapy that still help. My son, now this is not for everybody, you know, me and my kids, we're all nerds, right? So for him, playing D&D, creating a character, having this character go through certain situations in these, you know what I'm saying, as this character. And for him, he literally had to figure out ways how to get this character in and out of different situations. And he realized that the character was so closely linked to him. He was like, oh shit. It gave him a chance to look at himself from the outside and get curious instead of defensive. You know what I'm saying? So an alternative to therapy is finding a practice that can maybe help you problem solve or look at things from the outside, or look at, you know what I'm saying, like take a step back and just kind of help you problem solve. As just like, hey, this is it. Putting pen to paper, scratching off achievements at one time, you know, just some things, anything that can get you outside of yourself, to take a look at things and maybe work those problem solving skills. For me, art helps because it helps me to, like, art is subconscious kind of. You put a lot of yourself into your
pieces.
art.
Yeah.
You put a lot of yourself. Yes. Yeah. And literally, I don't care what anybody says, art is the ultimate subconscious filter. It's the ultimate. It'll show you so many things that you had no idea. I'm just throwing that out there.
I love that.
It's
Okay.
John,
Go ahead.
real
Yeah,
quick.
because we
Just because, John, real quick, how I always see you is the man with the glasses with the third eye at the top, without the shirt on. Sorry to say, that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Hey, that's what I see as
I'll be
wisdom.
doing his thing every weekend. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, he really do his thing, and it needs to be applauded. And every chance I can give you some flowers, I'll throw them at you.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love how I meant to say something earlier, how y'all build each other up. Me and Ivy do this shit on the phone all the time. It's some second nature.
I love it. I love it. John never really takes it, but that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. I think he put it in I think he closes them up in a book. He's like, I'll read that later. Which is good because he kept it. Still pimping.
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Debonair, you really don't want to have that conversation
We're
with me.
not going there.
What is
You
it?
really
We're not
don't
going
want to
there.
have that conversation with me. I'm gonna let that go.
Man, I'm glad he's back. So happy he's back, my man.
All right. Are we closing out? Do we have anything? Any closing words?
Men express themselves through activity. All right. It's a stereotype. It's a gender stereotype. But a lot of the time, stereotypes can be true or false. A lot of the times, if I create an activity and it appeals to their interests, they gonna show up.
Yep.
Men just being men with other men. And then there's a conversation while we're doing the thing that we're doing in the moment. We still got a mission, but we talking about some real shit. So we cooking and we talking at the same time. And it softens that discomfort that we're all feeling. It softens that tension because it's being channeled. You know, we got a structure here. You got to give them some structure. The art is cool for certain guys. Like, okay, yeah, it's a nice little outlet, but I got other ones. And I know there's a lot of fellas ain't gonna tap into that. I'm not finna push that way. I'm not finna recommend that to you. I already know you ain't gonna respond to that. But I know if I bring you in this gym or if I bring you in this dojo and we have a conversation, we gonna get to some fucking business. I already know. Confident. How do I know that? It's not just because I'm a man, but I understand. I understand how you think and how you feel. So I'm going to let you know that I know that. And you're going to know that I know that. And we're going to work. And men just want to work. That's what we do. But John, you just talked about resting earlier. We going to rest after we get this work.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to also remind them, hey, after we do this mental work, you got to fucking rest. Let it settle, bro.
Yeah.
Let it settle.
Ooh.
Let it cook.
It's language.
Marinate.
It's language. You got to know how to talk to them. So it's not fair to just say, hey, talk to them like this, right? Because it goes the other way. I'm saying this from that experience, the women telling me. So I'm just throwing the volleyball back. You told us, so it's like, all right, cool. Figured it out. Now, your turn, right? Now the ball is in your court. And then, unfortunately, we have this culture where sometimes the ball don't come back.
Ooh.
And it's just what it is. And so we just say, okay, well, you know what? Hey, bro, you just need to wait it out. Brothers are telling brothers, hey, bro, just wait it out. Try this way. The problem solving comes through the activity. It's not about we don't care about the fucking feelings like that. They are relevant, but they are data. It's only as important as it relates to how are we going to move forward with this. I don't want to stay here that much longer. And talking about this shit right here, we losing time. I'm losing patience. And I'm about to cut this shit short. You're losing them. And then you're going to get mad because you're losing them. You're going to blame him instead of you not knowing how to appeal to his preference. As a trainer, as a coach, I'm going to appeal to your preference the best way that I can. That's why the fit got to be there. Hey, John, this is how I train. All right, cool. I'm going to fuck with it then. I'm going to fuck with it. Let's see what it's about. All right, hey, I see how you train. I like this. Try this. Just try it. Just try it. This is what you should expect. If you don't see it, let me know. If you don't see it, hey, man, I like that. It's solutions. You're giving him solutions to try out, sample for himself, because the thing about us as people, we like to make these recommendations because they're about us. It's not about the person. I'm not quick to just make a recommendation because some of my recommendations are just based off of what I would like. So what do I look like giving you what I would like about your problem? How about you tell me? That means you got to shut the fuck up, John. Just shut the fuck up and just let them tell you. Ask them the question and let them tell you. I don't know. Well, let's figure it out.
Got a question before we go.
Uh-huh.
I'm asking you two gentlemen, as a Black woman who at some point in time is going to be an art therapist, but also clinical psychologist therapist, right? Um, like, what do I need to know if I have Black men that I'm going through, art therapy or even just clinical therapeutic, things like what, like how can I bridge that? How can I connect? Because you just said that, like if men, like you first get them in an activity, that's why I feel like I perceive that that's when those, like, it's almost like that's when you can process those emotions, if I'm getting it right. You know what I'm saying? So, because in something that, like, you're well, I gotta bring this up by truth, right? Mr. Debonair brought up a good point. He said a good example was the guy who had, like, he had a dojo and he was teaching black boys, you know what I'm saying, like all of their
That's my
moves.
guy. That is
Yeah,
Jason
that's my guy.
Wilson.
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jason. Oh my, yes,
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
so and
I
he
love it.
connected with that moment. So my question is like as a, because I'm a Black female, I only know the Black female experience, and I only know from what my boys have told me. So my question is how would I be able to, what do I need to be cognizant of in order to bridge that gap to process those hard things or those emotions, besides just gaining trust? Like, what is it that I need to know? Because
ask them. Ask them. Like
Yeah.
you're looking for feedback, right? Ask
Yeah.
them. Hey, what do you
That's
think
it.
about this?
Mhm.
Just ask them.
You said
Yeah.
meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how do I meet them where they're at? You know what I'm saying?
Ask.
Like,
Just ask the
Yeah,
question. Just
ask them. Yeah, that's it. That's
just ask.
essentially exactly what it. Because we will bring you to the wall. That's all obstruction.
not
It ain't gonna be.
necessarily.
It ain't gonna be an essay. It ain't gonna be an
No,
essay, Ivy. It's not gonna be
Yeah.
an
it's
essay.
not.
No, I get that, but a lot of times I get it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Or
Oh, that's
sometimes,
trusted. Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
trusted.
true.
That's more of a. If it's that quick and that abrupt, it's
It's true.
nah. I don't see you getting me. That's
okay,
trust.
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's all it
all
is.
right.
Just
And
like you
yeah,
said, that's not an essay.
Mr. Yeah, he is so correct because my nephews are like that. My
Mhm.
nephew. It's not necessarily a bad thing though. It's not necessarily a
Yeah,
bad thing because a lot of the times, especially boys coming up, there is a uncertainty type of thing going on because
absolutely.
I'm a man and I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, yo, this shit is fucked up. Like, what are we doing here? And there's so many options, and so as a boy, it could be confusing. Like, yo, I don't know which way to fucking lean, so I'm gonna just stay right here and just until you get some of them boys. And then
Mhm.
it's like, they're also in, but that's a whole nother subject. They're
Okay.
also in households where their voice isn't really championed, celebrated like that. And so, yeah, they're definitely not
Mm.
going to have a lot to say.
And
You
so
know,
that's what I'm saying. Like, for those boys who come from that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if I'm a woman, obviously if their voices are not championed, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, Mr. Debonair said they're still finding confidence and still trying to find their role out. Like, what is it that I need to know that can make my brain connect to the fact that they're still trying to find their voice? You know what I'm saying? Because
Basically, one of the easiest pathways is go more so into what they like. Ask them what they like.
okay,
Talk about that and go into long, deep conversations with you not speaking,
yeah.
but just asking the question because a person will love to tell you what they're interested in, and they'll go on, and then you'll see more of what they are. Just like what John said, I would do that in sparring. Me and the sparring partner, we didn't talk at all, but I knew after we sparred, I knew exactly where he was. I knew exactly. It damn near felt like I knew what happened. But
I'm
it
gonna tell
really
you something
sank in.
about that though, Ivy. Mothers are supposed to be the first, right?
yep,
Mhm.
What would
yep,
you want his wife to do?
Ooh.
I'm not saying
if
be his wife. What would you want
yeah,
her to do? This is a skill.
if he's having an issue,
Mhm.
have space, listen.
That's it. And just
Yeah.
like John said, he said, don't add to it. That's it. We just want, if you give us the safe
Yeah.
space at all times, and you don't even have to so much champion the voice, but just hear it out.
Mm.
That's
Just
it.
yeah,
Hear it
because a
out.
lot of the times we don't need a whole lot. Like, yo, I got a stepson here. You give him a few, an assignment and and the tools to do it. He will stay in that room for 6-8 hours, won't even eat. So yeah, his mom got to come in there and remind him he got to eat. When he's locked in, this is for any man. It's like it's just a lovely thing where you can create your thing, right?
Yeah.
And so as the wife, as the woman, being that one to say, hey, tell me more about this, and be genuinely interested.
There you go.
And you watch that light grow. You get to witness it before anybody else. If he's that special to you, you get to witness it before anybody else. And so not only are you witnessing, but you're also incubating, you're protecting that. And so he ain't got to come there all the time. He just needs to know that it's there. He gonna come there when he need to come. It's like Superman. Superman don't always need to go in the fucking sun. He need to go when shit got really bad. All right. So you got a young Superman right there, a couple of Supermans right there. You know, just create it. He gonna come there sometimes. A lot of times he ain't gonna be there.
Now he'll come in and ask for help. I appreciate that.
That's good.
Just create it, and then just let him know this will always be here. And then you know there's that. All right, like I'm gonna hold you to that. It's that.
Yeah. What you got, Renee?
I seen my son Sunday morning, and you know.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you.
I seen, and he met me at the cemetery because I went to go see my mom. And when that boy got out the car, when I'm talking about smiling from ear to ear, all I seen was teeth, and that boy hugged me, damn near hugged the life out of me. And then when we went to go sit down and eat breakfast, just the engaging conversations. He lightly mentioned his therapist, and I smiled. He is sitting down and talking to someone. And before we were leaving, he also mentioned, he was like, I really needed this. I feel so freaking energized. He was like, man, he was like, Mom, I needed that energy. Thank you. Yeah. When they need it, they gonna come full.
Yeah.
But you gotta let them.
The more you let that light grow, I've seen every man. You unlock it in stages. So if you go into, it could be indirectly, just go into what they're interested in. That light will grow, and then they'll tell you more things around that circle, and then it'll grow, and then they'll tell you more things around that circle.
Open, yes,
yeah.
Because we don't open. Men, we never open the door fully. Like, hey, come on in. Hell no. I'm opening
a little bit
with the chain first,
little bit,
with a couple of locks locked, and I'm like,
yeah.
Who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Who are you?
You know,
protective now.
Yeah.
Open the door a little bit. Then I take some more locks off, and then I look at you. Now we face to face in the door, and then I'll let you come in. I never give you everything from the beginning. I refuse to, because I don't want you to weaponize it. Because if you weaponize my pain that I haven't healed from, you get how dangerous I am.
Yeah.
And that doesn't need to happen, because there's an underline of violence between men.
I've done that to someone.
Oh.
I have, as a tit for tat.
You hurt me, I hurt you, right?
Yep. That person hurted me that way, and I said it right back in his lap, and it stunned him, just like it stung me when you said it the first time. So you got to be careful how you treat people.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I can match energies, and sometimes I know that's not good.
Hey, that's real vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that's real raw. Hey, thank you for even saying that, because
I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just working on seeing the energy, and if I see something that I do not like,
women do it all the time. No, we don't.
Finish what you were saying. I'm sorry, Sherman. What'd you say?
I'll take that.
Mr. Debonair said it all. No, I'm just joking. That guy, he is a funny guy, isn't he?
He really is a funny guy.
That's good. I think he means well. But no, I don't have anything. This was great.
It's okay. I don't match energies anymore. I just leave quietly now.
That's it. That's good.
I shut down. You know, they say Cancer has a shell. Shit, so does Aquarius.
That is. How men say it is, you got.
What? What?
That's how we let it go. That's how we let it go.
I'm Jay-Z fade to black. Like I'm not getting ready to go back and forth.
I
got a fire sign, but everything else is earth. So like that Taurus and that Capricorn be like, I'm a fade to black too, but I'm gonna be angry. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm a hold. I don't want to. I'll let it go now. But
I'll cuss you out on the way to work, but you won't know it.
They're going to work with a smile in it.
I'm working.
And then walk there like, hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Look, and I'm working on myself. I'm just saying progress, right? Hey, thanks, brother. Seriously, for answering these questions and helping us to get into the mind and the psyche. I wish we had a lot. I wish we had more Black women watching this. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So, because there's, you know, Sherman, you say it all the time. Like, we need to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And these are the ways that we bridge the gap. It's like if we can take ourselves out of our own shoes and put ourselves in those other shoes. So yeah, I appreciate it. Y'all help me get some insight. That's it. That's all I got. I'm gonna go on mute.
Yeah, I don't have anything else either. I'm happy we had this topic. I don't know what y'all was so nervous about.
Not nervous.
Beautiful. This one, beautiful.
You worked out.
John is like, I can name 65 things.
Stevie lied to y'all. Well, Stevie, you know what? Send me a picture. I need to do a reading on this man.
Good man.
I need to pull out them cards on Mr. Debonair. I need to see what he looked like before I read his
Don't do it, Seeley. Seeley, don't do it, Seeley.
I'm gonna read that.
That's definitely good.
I'm sorry. I want to thank everyone for jumping in on tonight's live. I want to thank everyone who made a comment tonight. We didn't have any phone calls. You just sat back and watched. Me and Ivy both learned some things about men this evening. And I want to thank these two wonderful brothers for coming on here and sharing that information with us. Sherman, Master, John, Skywalker. I can't remember his name in the beginning of the show, but I got it right there just now. He's the engineer. Hell, he's the brains behind this goddamn thing. Things that people don't want to talk about wouldn't be what it said if it wasn't for him. I got to get my brother his flowers. I'm going to throw him at you if I got to. And also just a friendly reminder to make sure in 4 days you all contact him and wish him.
Oh my God. All right. We will see y'all next week.